Okay, Assalamualaikum and good morning to our audience, and also would like our okay, sorry for the technical problem. Okay, so Assalamualaikum and good morning everyone, and we are Anet, Faculty of Engineering. I need to have Dr. Kamarulafizam bin Ismail from School of Mechanical Engineering, and welcome to all staff and also students to our Series 6 spin-off champion sharing session. So how are you, Dr. Kamarulafizam?
Alhamdulillah, baik-baik. Terima kasih.
Alhamdulillah. So before we start the sharing session, so I would like to read a bit about our speaker, Dr. Kamarulafizam bin Ismail. Okay, Dr. Kamarulafizam bin Ismail graduated from the University Technology Malaysia, UTM, with Bachelor Degree of Engineering Computer, Master of Engineering Electrical, and Doctor of Philosophy in Engineering Biomedical. He has more than 15 years of research experience in the area of signal processing, control and instrumentation, artificial intelligence, and pattern recognition. He is currently a full-time lecturer and a laboratory manager at the School of Mechanical Engineering, Faculty of Engineering, UTM. He is also a deputy director in the Media and Game Center of Excellence Magic X and manager for innovation and commercialization for the Institute of Human-Centered Engineering iHuman UTM. So without further ado, I would like to invite Dr. Kamarulafizam bin Ismail for his sharing session R&D commercialization experience through spin-off company. Please, Dr. Kamarulafizam.
All right, thank you very much for the introduction. Thank you very much. The host, saya buka slide sekejap.
Boleh, Doktor.
Alright, boleh nampak ke? Basically.
Boleh, Doktor.
Alright, so itulah first of all, terima kasih kepada pihak penganjur laku UTM Engineering, Faculty of Engineering, for basically organizing this kind of session lah. I believe sebelum ni dah ada beberapa sharing session by beberapa champion-champion yang lain, in which saya percaya lebih baik dan lebih hebat lah daripada apa yang saya boleh sharekan. Alright. Basically, my sharing of experience basically orang kata start daripada I mean approximately 10 years ago lah saya cerita, right? Because during that time, tahun 2008 2009, commercialization is I would say something yang agak baru lah di PM, benda-benda yang baru, orang kata baru-baru nak naik, baru-baru hangat. So banyak orang start untuk turut serta, termasuklah saya sekitar tahun 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, something like that. Dan kalau kita tengok policy of UTM sendiri dekat slide ni, of course UTM IP policy 1999, that was way 20 years back. Saya sendiri pun tak pernah tengok that IP policy, tapi saya percaya the first one yang paling I would say intensive, yang paling orang kata cukup syarat lah juga is the first one is 2014, and then the list that I get from ICC is starting from there 2019 and 2020. So masa saya start tu, basically we don't have so much guide. Cuma kita ada couple of information on I would say benchmarking. Kita tengok couple of other academician from other universities, how do they do it, and a couple of example daripada overseas. Basically in UTM itself, kita tak ada I would say very comprehensive guide macam hari inilah. As you can see, tahun 2019 UTM sendiri keluarkan beberapa policy untuk memperkemaskan kita punya proses and procedure. The point here is that pada 10 years ago, benda ni tak I would say inisiatif tu ada, kita UTM menggalakkan pengkomersialan pada masa tu, tapi kita baru nak cuba, kita baru nak I would say kita baru nak berjinak-jinak, baru nak bertapak lah. So banyak benda tak ada, so things diperkemas from time to time. So of course when we speak about commercialization, we oftenly speak about putting our product to the market, dan kita basically nampak duit lah. Alright, frankly speaking, of course kita boleh cakap pasal macam-macam motivation lah, why do we commercialize thing. Tapi 10 years ago, apa yang kita nampak adalah kita basically duduk dalam universiti, kita ada gaji tetap apa semua kan. Of course we see maybe our friend relative out there yang ada business, we can see they make a lot of money. So bila kita nampak UTM now encourage 10 years ago UTM encourage commercialization, so pada masa tu kita mula nampak kita boleh buat business, kita boleh jual kita punya apa-apalah, termasuklah kita punya research. Alright, so basically bila kita cakap pasal spin-off company, kita tengok very far, orang kata at the end of the day kita akan dapat duit, kita akan kaya lah. Alright, so this is the first thing yang biasa orang nampak ataupun kita nampak, ataupun pada masa tu saya pun nampak benda yang sama. We have products, we have output, dan kita nak put to the market, dan kita nak cuba jual, and of course uh, kita nampak duit. So it's a clear path, it's a clear road that at the end kita boleh jual dan kita dapat duit lah sebenarnya. But along the way, actually things are not that macam as nice as this one. You can see very clear road without any hindrance, without any disturbance, without any obstacle and all that. You nampak dekat ujung tu memang very very clear. Oh, ini kalau jual ini memang boleh buat duit ni. Kita pun fikir orang lain kalau similar product in the market, people are becoming millionaire very very quick and very easy, contohnya. Alright, so we are basically seeing the same thing, but along the way kita mula nampak dia punya kesusahan, kita mula nampak dia punya hiccups, kita mula nampak kita punya kekurangan, kita mula nampak saya mula nampak lah saya punya knowledge ni macam tak cukup. It's a completely different world actually. So we are dealing with something yang kita tak biasa. Kita dealing with something yang kita tak tahu bahayanya macam mana. So because in the beginning kita memang nak pergi, so memang kita jalan je lah. Alright, but along the way basically saya nampak duduk dalam university with our orang kata day to day punya work, going to commercialization is a complete struggle during that time. This time around, basically we have a lot of bantuan, a lot of facilitation daripada universiti sendiri, dari dalam entiti kita, dan juga pihak-pihak luar sendiri ada banyak facilitation to help you out with this kind of struggle. But 10 years ago back then, as I mentioned, benda belum kemas, so kita berhadapan dengan banyak namanya struggle lah, especially bila kita nampak in the beginning. Of course bila kita start kita punya research, kita ada we have our own product. Memang kita biasanya bila kita buat research, kita ada produk, kita akan yakin, kita memang confident. Kita memang confident kita boleh jual, kita memang confident kita boleh basically kita punya produk bagus, kita confident kita boleh convince orang. But 10 years ago kita tak ada any kind of platform ataupun any kind of sistem yang boleh verify whether kita punya keyakinan ni betul ke tak betul, contohnya. Alright, sekarang ni more or less I can say we have this kind of ecosystem in UTM which basically check whether you are ready or not. But 10 years ago we don't have this kind of I would say mechanism to really check on us. Again, as I mentioned earlier, almost everyone of us, bila kita buat research, bila kita start research, bila kita start getting result, kita sangat-sangat confident yang benda ni boleh dijual, boleh masuk market, dan we can basically generate income daripada apa yang kita create. So we take the journey to commercialization just with that kind of thing in mind. Basically kita tak ada banyak maklumat lain, info lain, ataupun knowledge lain, ataupun I would say education background yang lain selain daripada apa yang kita usahakan. So that's why you nampak gambar dekat sini, it's a real struggle to put the product to the market. Of course you can always ask spin-off company yang lain di UTM. I believe they will more or less have the same stories about their struggle. basically 10 years ago, UTM sendiri pun basically was looking for a way to commercialize UTM punya products. Banyak engagement yang saya percaya dah dibuat bersama pihak lokal dan juga antarabangsa untuk melatih dan juga I would say to open the mind of UTM punya academician and researchers of how to basically bring this research product to the market untuk income generation and many things. Of course, the end of the day, basically, decades ago kita government fund diberi pada universiti untuk buat research. Of course, we produce students, we produce papers, we produce a lot of bahan-bahan ilmiah. But later after that, the government was basically starting to ask for an output. So nak tak nak memang we have to take another step forward to go for commercialization. That's why more or less universiti menggalakkan perkara ini, dan of course in the tagline kat bawah tu pun kita ada entrepreneurial punya this one. So eventually the funding that we receive, it has to end up somewhere yang give more benefits lain daripada produce bahan-bahan ilmiah dan juga student dan many other things. In this case, we are talking about income generation lah, duit. Alright, so again, during that time, everything was I would say unfamiliar territory, uncharted punya journey. So kita struggle, UTM struggle. I believe UTM sendiri dan juga government sendiri pour in a lot of money to get this thing on the right track. I still remember during that time, kita ada program symbiosis, one symbiosis through, and if I'm not mistaken, coming down to symbiosis 3, which is a lot of money has been poured into to get this thing aligned. So this is the process of learning. This is the process of struggle, I believe, for UTM at large. Alright, so kita duduk dalam UTM generally academician, apa yang kita biasa adalah benda-benda yang lebih kurang dekat sini lah. Of course, ada lagi lah benda-benda lain yang mungkin berada dalam kita punya mind sehari-hari. Alright, so benda-benda perkara-perkara yang berkaitan dengan bisnes, perniagaan, masuk ke market ni bukan, it's not in our I would say it's not our bread and butter, and it's not in our blood lah. I would say not, memanglah blood. Ada orang fikir dia family ahli perniagaan, mungkin ada dalam blood dia, but when we do this thing every day, kita become very good at what we are doing, the things that we did every day. So of course, again, coming back to the previous point, kita confident kita ada produk, kita confident kita boleh jual. Sebab kita nampak kadang-kadang orang dekat luar buat apa je tapi boleh jual, dan boleh jual dengan banyak, dengan baik. So from there kita gain confidence, because kita basically we are the one who create the product or services. Kita memang cukup knowledge to justify why the product is good. Tapi again, business world ataupun putting product to the market is something very very unfamiliar to us. Kita tak tahu dia punya I would say selok belok dia. I mean we don't have those things in our background compared to people yang dah duduk dekat dalam tu. But again, tak semestinya kalau tak biasa you tak boleh nak try. So that's why we basically go ahead and try lah. Alright. So but to be able to do that, I mean of course lah, macam saya mention, kita academician, businesses, kita tak pernah try, kita tak ada knowledge. Why not we try, contohnya kan. So because we have something maybe good which can benefit market and the people, for example. So kita try, but try to try per se, just simply you go and jump and orang kata cuba langgar macam tu is very risky lah. So now we are talking about risk. So benda ni pun saya percaya universiti banyak put in efforts, put in programs, try to change kita punya mindset, try to change the way we think so that kita boleh I would say minimize the risk of kena macam-macam di luar sana. Alright, because when you go out, basically anything can happen, of course. So to basically minimize that, kita educate sikit kita punya researcher through mindset, orang kata changing kind of program, because bukan sahaja kita perlukan from my experience, basically bukan sahaja kita perlukan knowledge, technical knowledge of what we are working on in order to take us to the market. Actually, we need the market knowledge. We need our mind to have a better perception of how to go to the market eventually. And when you look at the process of taking product to the market, is actually way too big compared to what we may have within ourselves with regard to the process of developing the product itself. Okay, mungkin develop the product daripada idea, and of course you buat prototype, you test sana sini, you buat market acceptance, whatever. You see that's the whole big process of kita sebagai academician. Kita rasa I have achieved quite a good achievement. I did more or less everything. We see that as a very big thing, basically. Normally like that, because memanglah pada kita benda tu bukan senang. Daripada idea you nak create, you nak start, memang we also have to face a lot of trouble in order to get our idea to the first prototype contohnya. So that's the whole world kepada kita. So but when you go out, when you take your product out, basically you will see another different world, and that world is a lot bigger than the world that we see semasa kita develop the product. So and to be able to survive in those world, you tak boleh pergi terjah berbekalkan technical knowledge. Basically you need to have knowledge to survive in that world. Dan I would say proses untuk mindset punya preparation, saya percaya UTM ada buat. Saya pun sendiri pun melalui banyak proses mindset punya changing, brainwash ke whatever you can call it. But I believe only after I went through the such program baru saya tahu dan baru saya nampak apa yang saya tak nampak lah, in a way. Alright, in which benda ni actually orang kata membuatkan saya pandang semula ke belakang. Saya tak bersedia, saya tak tahu ni, saya tak cukup ni. Dan bukan setakat kita dan juga kita punya mindset, from that kind of training, from that kind of exposure, kita boleh nampak that kita punya produk yang sebelum ni kita yakin sangat-sangat boleh jual, is actually tak boleh jual. Is actually tak boleh diterima oleh market. Is actually the market nak benda lain rupanya, because of some other factor. So these are the I would say critical turning point yang saya experience. I believe ada researcher pun yang lalu the same program, they speak about the same eye opening kind of thing. So this kind of proses pada saya sangat-sangat penting, yang mengubah saya punya mindset, yang mengubah saya punya awareness daripada technical person yang develop things daripada idea contohnya kepada prototype. Dan the prototype works using, I would say, complex punya engineering theory or formulation. Dan kita, of course, we get excited, basically. We get excited to see how the theory, the formula works in the real world, for example. So we have those things banyak dalam diri kita without kita sedar bahawa benda yang kita develop ni kadang-kadang market tak perlukan, kadang-kadang market tak nak. So and then if you try to bring this kind of argument to kita punya researcher, for example, you will see that they will not easily accept this kind of thing. You know, if you go to them, you check out, Prof, your product tak boleh jual, something like that. yelah, paling simple pun dia akan marah you lah kan. Dia akan try to argue that this thing memang berpotensi, this thing memang boleh jual, this thing memang orang-orang sangat perlukan di luar. Saya dah tanya orang, saya dah tanya sini. So you will hear this kind of thing from the academician. But I believe what happened to me, this kind of training yang saya lalu, okay, inside UTM and as well as from outside UTM, actually change my mindset, change my thinking, change my perception towards apa yang kita sedang usahakan, dan macam mana kita nak orang kata revisit our effort so that whatever we are developing can be accepted to the market. The biggest problem in among academician basically is us, including me, is actually bila kita punya research is not aligned to the market. Of course, we have to ask ourselves bila kita buat research atau bila kita buat innovation, actually before 10 years ago, research and innovation was started, I would say, either coming from your PhD work or from your research, previous research work, or either I would say something yang you baru terfikir nak buat, because maybe you terdengar daripada overseas and all that. So you start working on that, you apply grant, you get students, you get help, you get funding, whatever. And the way we start our research innovation and all that, the source ataupun sumbernya is not very much market oriented. Of course, bila kita start nak buat research, of course kita understand punya problem statement. Kita punya problem statement 10-20 years ago is different daripada problem statement today. For example, kalau dulu kita address kita punya problem statement banyak kepada theory things, banyak kepada solving the engineering problem itself, how complex it is. And now we start seeing that kita mula address kita punya problem kepada market needs, kepada market punya issue, kepada creating wealth or value contohnya. So this is how things are changing for the past 10-20 years sampai sekarang. So if you start your research from bukan daripada market oriented punya reason, you will find that it's quite difficult to bring that research to the market. So as simple as that. Unless you start your research based on market punya need, based on projected need for the next 5 or 10 years, then you will see it's quite easy to bring your research to the market. So, but the problem is in UTM, in our university, including myself, kita punya research dulu bukan ada langsung orang kata kiblat kepada market pun. Alright, kita buat research, again as I mentioned, kadang-kadang datang daripada kita punya PhD work, which of course is the most easiest thing to do. Kita dah ada technical knowledge, kita dah ada mungkin some result, so we can basically use that to apply grant, so we can further develop kita punya research technical expertise along the way. So we work on that topics over and over for even for many years, and along the line kita nampak kita punya apa yang kita kerjakan sukar untuk di-align kepada commercialization contohnya. So this thing happen in UTM. Some of us are having this kind of problem, but some of us okay. Maknanya I don't know, mungkin they get educated and they maneuver dia punya research kepada bentuk yang boleh diterima oleh pasaran ataupun market contohnya. And this process of maneuvering pada pengalaman saya very very critical untuk demonstrate the business mindset punya change. Alright, of course it's a new thing yang kita kena belajar. I would say of course kita kadang-kadang kita dah the PhD, kita dah professor, mungkin we have reached to certain amount of certain level of knowledge, but changing the mindset to learn about market, customer, benda ni memerlukan perubahan kepada cara kita fikir semasa kita develop kita punya produk. So basically we have to unlearn and relearn the thing. And of course, the whole process will basically give you some kind of business sense to kita punya research. Of course, benda ni kadang-kadang senang bercakap, tapi nak buat susah juga, because research and innovation boleh dihalakan ke pelbagai arah. Actually, kalau you research and innovation, you can always point this thing to publication. You can always point this thing to producing students. You can always point to consultation, contohnya, and tak terkecuali juga you can point this thing to commercialization. So kadang-kadang satu research tu you boleh dapat paper saja. Kadang-kadang satu research tu you boleh dapat student saja, dan kadang-kadang satu research tu you boleh dapat pengkomersialan saja. And if you are smart enough, if you are well aware and educated enough, in educated in giving business sense to the research, from your research you boleh produce all of that. For example, so I don't have a case study lah kot untuk this case, but basically the possibilities is basically there. Alright. So from there, basically, I could basically summarize commercialization is a process of value creation, process of ialah kita nampak the whole activities are basically daripada idea, we find the theory, we prove the theory in the lab, then we move on to the first prototype, then we test our prototype, then we improve the level of prototype kepada market ready and all that. Basically kita nampak product development process sampai daripada idea sampai siap untuk diguna, sampai siap untuk I would say masuk market dan dijual. But then jarang daripada kita nampak apa yang berlaku selepas term jual tu eventually. So basically from the process of idea, we do many things, we add up many things so that the idea or the prototype or the product becoming useful and becoming beneficial, and sampai selepas dia masuk market pun dia still useful and beneficial. So over the time kita punya product will gain I would say the orang kata the importance and all that, and those are the process of adding value to kita punya idea sampailah produk tu sampai ke tangan end user ataupun target market. So the value yang kita create ataupun yang kita instill daripada ideation process sampailah ke produk tu diguna oleh customer, those are the value yang basically kita create along the process of when we are working in the university, in the lab, sampailah sampailah produk tu keluar daripada pagar UTM contohnya. So again, coming back to this point, it's a value creation process in which, of course, when we speak about value ni bukan kita pasal duit, actually, alright. Value ni, I would basically summarize that. What are basically the benefit ke, ataupun what are the good thing that kita put together so that the services or the products that yang kita develop, yang kita put to the market, the benefit tu boleh sampai ke tangan orang yang guna. And of course the benefit tu mungkin kecil di peringkat awal, di peringkat ideation, dan sampai ke pengguna it can get bigger and bigger and bigger and become significant. Adding value to your to your research, to your product is a continuous process daripada ideation sampai ke produk tu ke tangan customer. That's why if you basically mohon grant ataupun if you mohon funding daripada mana-mana agency, part of their question is what is your value proposition. So kalau you sendiri tak faham the concept ataupun the process of value creation, then jawapan you dekat sini akan jadi merepek-merepek, dan biasanya dia orang tahu kalau you tak boleh nak jawab soalan simple macam ni, maknanya you tak faham apa yang you buat, then most likely these people won't basically invest in you. So I don't know, mungkin lepas habis this session you all boleh Google around value creation, what is it, try to menjiwai process value creation, because from my experience, of course we are looking at many things, tapi everything goes back to this word dalam saya punya kepala lah, based on my experience. Value creation is not I would say the process daripada ideation sampailah keluar produk to the market. I see it as a process of value creation. I don't see too much process of putting the technical things together, putting the theory together, proving that this thing work, claiming ownership over things. These are small things yang berlaku eventually, but the whole idea can be, the whole process can be summarized as a value creation process, because when your product go to the market, basically you will be talking about value in terms of money, and if the product is good, your market like it, of course the value in terms of money meningkat. So that is another different process of value creation, in which there are possibilities that you have to let go of the thing when they really is experiencing some kind of growth, for example. Creating value or value creation is I would say here doesn't care about who owns the thing. Basically kita sebagai researcher, kita mungkin ingat bila kita, this is my idea, this is my project, this is my product, ingat kita we are the owner of the things. This is always dalam kita punya mindset. So bila produk ni nak keluar daripada UTM pun, kita yang kena bawa, kita pun yang nak buka spin-off contohnya. If you understand the value creation process correctly, I think you will have a different thinking of whatever I said just now. Maknanya our job is basically to put and to add value to the things that we are creating, daripada idea sampai produk tu commercialize, and after they reach certain value, mungkin the process is different. It's no longer with us, contohnya. And of course, yeah, if you understand the concept of value creation, you should be able to deliver the right value proposition. Okay, and of course, value proposition thing is oftenly asked bila you nak mohon funding daripada, can be public funding or even private funding. Okay, so bila when you have this kind of mindset and you dah go through this kind of training, you will be able to answer at least this basic thing lah yang saya boleh fikir. Ada market tak untuk kita punya research? Do you understand the market need, market size, ataupun when is the right time to enter the market, or even when is the right time to leave the market? Alright, so for the first one, is there a market for your research output? Kita again, tadi saya dah mention, saya recap sikit. 10-20 years ago, bila kita start research, basically bila orang tanya ada market tak, dan jawapan biasanya adalah mestilah ada. Saya kenal dia memang perlukan saya punya produk. Saya kenal dia memang nak pakai, dia tengah tunggu saya punya produk. We always claim like that. So that's 10-20 years ago. Kita biasanya buat kerja macam itulah. Kita sendirilah yang sebenarnya yang tanya orang sana sini. So ada orang minta, ada orang tanya, ada orang suka, basically. So to us, that is the market need yang kita ataupun market demand yang kita rasa ada. So to us, 2-3 orang bercakap dia nak kita punya produk, pada masa tu pada kita dah ada market, uh, kita punya produk ada market demand, kita punya produk ada market need, kita ada customer dah contohnya. So tapi kita punya judgement during that time was 2-3 orang cakap, ataupun saya punya syarikat saya besar, syarikat saya perlukan produk encik ni contohnya. So only that by that kind of statement kita rasa kita punya produk ini boleh jual, aku kena buat sampai siap ni contohnya. So but that is 10-20 years ago. That kind of thinking sekarang ni dah tak laku. So if you still fikir macam tu, then you better change lah, you better get yourself more educated in this sense, and you can always go to ICC. I think provide a lot of things if you still have this kind of mindset. Okay, because market research, market need is no longer spelled out in that manner. You really have to professionally go out and look for it and secure your market. You tak boleh simply cakap ada beberapa parti saya dah cakap dia ada market demand. 10-20 years ago kita terima this kind of statement kalau you pergi exhibition as simple as Inatex, kalau judge tanya ada market, ada pak, you boleh ambil gambar sekian-sekian, oh dia orang perlukan produk saya, as simple as that. And later on you will see Inatex punya judge start looking for evidence and all that, because benda tu makin lama makin lame, makin tak boleh pakai. So this time around when we apply grant or kita nak start research, kita nak cari funding, they really require a serious market research. Okay, because kadang-kadang orang bila you tanya dia nak beli, tapi bila dia sanggup keluar duit dia tak sanggup keluar duit contohnya. So benda-benda macam ni yang kita tak biasa unless you duduk lama dalam bidang macam ni, then you know apa tips and tricks when it come to buat market survey ke market study. And then do you understand the market need? Basically, of course, bila kita bawa kita punya produk to the market, kita cerita tentang kita punya produk, of course, kepada kita punya potential customer. Contohnya kita cerita kita punya produk macam ni, bentuk macam ni, boleh buat macam ni. Kita cerita produk yang dah siap. Okay, bukan produk yang tengah develop. Of course, this is always the case lah. Bila dah siap baru kita bawa keluar tanya orang sebenarnya. So bila kita tanya kita punya customer, that time sebab kita baru siap produk, baru kita nak jumpa dia, nak tanya dia apa yang dia nak, that time baru dia tahu yang kita encik punya produk ni ada 20-50 features. It's banyak sangat. Kita pun of course lah, this is product the best in the world, the best in the market. Lebih produk lain yang sama macam ni ada 5 features, saya punya ada 20 features contohnya. Tapi cik, saya nak pakai satu feature saja. Kalau cik tanya kawan-kawan saya yang ada dalam bisnes sama pun nak pakai satu feature cik contohnya. So these are the alignment yang I was talking about. When you have business sense to your research, basically you can start realigning your research to the market need, to the what market want, basically. Of course, kadang-kadang the market is not ready for kita punya produk. Contohnya kita punya produk, of course, because kita mungkin collaborate dengan university dekat Europe ke, dekat US ke, dekat UK ke, dekat Japan for example. Kita produce product using cutting edge technology, product yang very far, very advanced to the future. No company has ever created this thing. Saya orang yang pertama buat dalam dunia ni. Saya very advanced theory with mathematics and all that contohnya. But again, if you provide such advanced thing, the market is not ready. You have to spend the cost of creating a new market, creating a new awareness to your user, basically. So maknanya you punya produk ni will be accepted in the next coming few years, bukan sekarang contohnya. Alright, so kalau you nak keluarkan that product now to the market, you need to know what the people want, basically, and now. Okay, now maknanya maybe you start your work 3 years ago. So from that 3 years ago, you have to be able to project what the market trend or market needs after that 3 years. So that bila you produce the product after 3 years, the market is ready for you, and you are producing the right product for the market that you are targeting. Contohnya. So that's the process of alignment yang you kena buat bila you understand you punya market need. And of course the size. Okay, the size is very important, especially because putting product developing product require funding, require investment. Putting product to the market also ada cost, and always in this kind of framework we are looking for profit and loss, we are looking for financial sustainability. So you have to really understand the size and how this market size growth over the time or shrinking. um, kalau the size of the market is not too big, there is high possibility that you takkan survive lama in that market, or you takkan dapat jual banyak, and basically you mungkin dapat jual a few, you mungkin dapat profit a very small amount of profit, and after that you akan lose out, you akan dice off in the market. So understanding the market size penting. And of course, not understanding the market size is not just by googling around looking for the market size for the next 5 years. Contohnya, then you will have figure of billion. That is basically, I know how we normally do it, but that's not the safe or the best way to do it. You really have to work out your different or several target market. In my experience, basically I did macam tadi saya cakap, I google around. I know, wow, there will be like 30 billion of market for this particular product, and with a growth of 2 to 3% annually. So it's a good thing, but that's not a real thing basically. So we really have to be realistic in targeting the punya market, estimating the size, and all that. All right, the next one is time to enter the market. Again, as I mentioned, kita punya invention mungkin too far advanced, which now maybe it's not the best time to put the market because customer tak ready. Bila customer tak ready, maknanya they are not willing to pay for kita punya service or product. So what is the point of putting so advanced, so sophisticated thing when nobody wants to pay? I can take a simple of example, Blu-ray punya disc lah. Okay, storage memang banyak 7-8 gigabyte, whatever, compared to pada zaman tu people are still working on CD, baru nak masuk DVD, because the technology is so advanced. The cost to produce that is so expensive. Blu-ray, DVD, saya ingat sangat mahal berbanding CD, dan market tak nak ambil pun that Blu-ray punya disc. Market still stick kepada CD-ROM biasa yang 700-800 meg contohnya. Market don't mind. So take this kind of example into your thinking. Try to see how you align your product to the market need. So Blu-ray was not accepted 10 years ago. Mungkin Blu-ray will be accepted in maybe 5 to 10 years in the future, for example. All right. So you really must know when your product should be in the market, and kadang-kadang bila you produce something, you put the product into the market, then you see competitors coming in, then ataupun you tengok you punya sale flatten or going low for many years. Maybe that's the time to leave the market. Maybe you have to reinvent your product ataupun research smaller dan create a different product contohnya, because some of us kadang-kadang kita obsess dengan kita punya produk, kita sangat confident kita punya produk bagus dan market kena terima kita punya produk, when we want to stay as long as possible in the market with our product. But the fact is, every product ada life cycle, every service ada life cycle. You have to keep on re-innovating, you have to keep on inventing in order to stay and to survive in the market. All right. So talking about training, talking about I would say eye-opening kind of program, talking about awareness, talking about changing business, changing mindset. These are part of the thing yang saya sendiri went through basically, mostly dalam UTM from ICC. then I was there masa SRI come into UTM. It's a good effort by UTM administration pada masa itu. SRI coming in from Silicon Valley. Um, a group of people was lebih kurang identified because of the program punya scheme. I think they are open to limited amount of participant. So I was there as well, going through the program, really eye opening. You can ask if you have your friend around who basically went through the same program. You can ask them how good the program is and how that program basically changed the mindset of our researcher, our academician. And if you pick up couple of researcher yang berjaya bawa produk ke market this time around, orang-orang yang berjaya buka spin-off dan put product and services to the market. These are, I would say, alumni of this SRI program actually. And of course, after that, after SRI coming in tahun 2009, 10, 11, 12, Malaysian government start to see the importance of entrepreneurship, start to help out process of technopreneurship and all that. Then Teraju Superb also offer funding, bridging the gap daripada innovation and market. So I went through the program as well. And other than that is just enriching the knowledge internationally in IP management and all that. Try to see because from here we can see in different countries commercialization achievement is different because of the policy, because of the practices, because of the initiative and efforts made by the government and all that. And during this time around, this is 2017, Malaysia is quite advanced juga lah. Alright, I would say that. Again, kita dah buat research and all that. Some of us think that susah lah kalau buat research macam ni bukan boleh keluar produk dalam masa setahun 2 tahun, ataupun research macam ni macam mana nak commercialize, macam mana nak buat produk. Certain research can be turned into product right away. Certain research cannot be turned into product as it is. Certain research memang kekal sebagai research yang berterusan, yang bertahun-tahun in kita punya experience. But in some developed countries things are a bit different. Biasanya research does end up in commercialization. Cuma rate dia, of course, kita tahu from the past 10, 20, 30 years, rate of product being commercialized by universities less than 1% or less than 2% or something like that. Of course, it's a global continual process of aligning university R&D to industry or market punya need. So kita pun tak terkecuali. We are experiencing the same, I would say, trouble juga. Try to put kita punya research to the market. Normally kita punya research adalah sejenis long term research yang mungkin perlukan banyak tahun, banyak masa, banyak tranche of funding in order to get the result. Kadang-kadang bila dapat result kita pun tahu nak how to put this result to the market. Contohnya, in some condition you can reshape your research output ataupun research experiment to create kadang-kadang a different product yang mungkin tak pernah plan daripada research objective ke research conclusion ke. Sometimes you create a different product. So these are the process yang you kena buat when you have that awareness. Without that awareness, without that training, it's difficult to see ke mana nak bawa kita punya research. And of course, to do this again, you need training, you need exposure, you need awareness. So kalau kita start dengan long term research, macam mana kita nak commercialize? Ini belum cerita orang lain ataupun kompetitor dah terlebih dahulu buat that product yang kita tengah buat research. Tengah-tengah kita buat research, research tengok-tengok orang dah jual dah pun kita punya produk. So ke mana kita nak bawa kita punya research? Nak sambung lagi ke nak berhenti contohnya. So you can only decide that when you have market punya skill, when you have the awareness I was basically talking about. Okay, and research mungkin take long time. Maybe you can go for innovation. Innovation ni just as simple as orang kata buat pen ke pensel ke cawan ke. It's not too much deep research activities involved. A simple twist of thing, you can re-innovate things, and I would basically I would basically suggest this if you have a research yang memang susah nak bawa ke market, ataupun research yang you kena buat in order to keep on surviving dalam academics punya life, students, papers and all that. Of course, we need research, we need this kind of investigation to keep on growing and continue. But at the same time, you need to equip yourself with the mindset that I was talking about, so that at any point of time in your research, you boleh maneuver dia punya output kepada bentuk yang boleh dikomersialkan. It can be product, it can be services, it can be tangible, it can be intangible. Alright, you need this knowledge in order to recognize that potential from whatever that you are doing. I cannot give you discrete punya example and all that, but go for the training. That's my advice, because that's how I get this thing. Of course, again, kalau you rasa you punya research tak boleh masuk market dalam masa yang cepat, it's gonna take a lot of longer time and all that, try to work on something on the innovation, try to macam diversify your activities, daily research ke apa ke, try to innovate something, try to implement the I would say process of understanding the market, understanding the market need and all that. And this little and small innovation akan basically pave the way for you to basically experience macam mana commercialize things, especially within a university ataupun daripada dalam campus. So what are the channel, what are the processes, simple innovation, as simple as kalau you buat eksperimen, you dapat data, and as that data is essential for one or two company yang really perlukan that data in order to make their product good in the market contohnya. So you can basically copyright that and go to SECs. Then you talk to the company, you do kind of agreement which they will use your data table, for example, to make their product work, as simple as that. So that is a fast track process of how to commercialize your thing. Tak semestinya you kena tunggu complete research 10-20 years baru you nak jual. So that's pada saya tak berapa efficient lah. So kalau if you are in that timeline of long research, you try to work on innovation boleh bantu you speed up your commercialization punya effort. Tapi saya ada masa banyak mana lagi sebenarnya? Where is our host?
Doctor.
Yes.
Hi. Okay, about 15 minutes more, Doctor.
Okay, alright, thank you. Okay, so these are couple of things yang saya listkan untuk kita fikirlah sebelum kita start research ataupun innovation. We have to really do it not with our own current knowledge and thinking. Okay, again, nak buat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ni we nampak macam senang. Actually, okay, kita ada PhD kot contohnya kan, ataupun kita orang universiti kot, takkan benda macam ni tak boleh nak buat. Of course, you can simply do it, but you will get something else basically. Okay, compared to people yang pergi training, pergi unlearn and relearn tadi tu, you will see this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 differently. Okay, that different tu yang we have to basically able to grab. If you fail to buat this basic thing correctly, then commercialization effect is not gonna be there. Macam nombor 1, you have to really look at the problem, contohnya it's a real problem, bukan setakat problem beberapa individu ataupun problem beberapa case. You really have to look at the problem in terms of size. Okay, ini problem dekat taman perumahan saja ke, ataupun problem dekat taman perumahan seluruh dunia ke, for example. So those other ways to do it. And then number two is market research. Market research ni pada kita, kalau simply kita ambil thinking, oh Google aja lah kot, carilah kat sini market macam mana, kita punya market size contohnya, what are the products that are available in the market, competitor analysis, contohnya, so kita tahu, oh, orang dah buat macam ni, so aku buat macam ni lah. So this is kita punya typical thinking, but a proper market research should be done by professional parties, which you all kena keluar duit, kena bayar sikit lah kot. I know dalam UTM ada beberapa pensyarah kita yang memang expert buat market research. You can always engage them. Dekat luar sana there are tons of company yang pandai buat market research. You know, they can do a professional market research. Bila you pernah engage dia orang, baru dia orang tahu the value of whatever they are I would say dapat untuk you decide whether you should proceed with your research ataupun tidak. Okay, and then in some part of the research, eventually we have to create a MVP, the minimum viable product. Without MVP is quite difficult to push your things to the market. Kalau you buat research, you get result macam mana pun, you have to think of a way to create MVP. So just learn lah apa dia namanya MVP. And most funders these days, they are asking for MVP. Alright, and of course before you start your research, try juga buat pattern search, tengok macam mana. Takut bila kita dah shock start, dah shock buat, kita confident kita boleh solve and all that, sekali-sekali bila dah siap, kita tak boleh nak pattern sebab orang dah pattern benda ni. So bila tak boleh nak pattern, so it's quite difficult, especially dalam UTM punya ekosistem, benda-benda nak keluar mesti nak kena di IP kan terlebih dahulu. And then maybe things that you are developing involve certification, standards, ataupun ada badan-badan authority yang terlibat. So you have to really understand them and work with them before you even start your research ataupun innovation. Sebabnya kalau you dah start, kalau you dah siap, suddenly you baru sedar, oh you kena ada that certification yang minta you buat produk berbentuk begini, menghala ke begini, then you have to redo everything again. The same with standards and authorities. Of course, number 6, understanding partners and competitors. You cannot basically work alone as kita biasa buat lah daripada lab, even we have a team of technical people developing the products. The partners I'm talking about is people daripada industries ataupun kita mungkin kenal dia orang sebagai collaborator. So we have to sit with people yang ataupun industries yang kena bawa produk ni keluar. Alright, in some situation, they know the business, they know the market, and they know competitors, and they know what they need from you basically. So if you have them advising you, then it will be great advantage. And of course, way back like 10 years ago and all that, we don't have all these things. So bila kita buat produk at any level yang kita rasa selesa, we declare that kita punya produk siap. We declare that kita punya produk ready. So bila kita bawa that words that my product is ready to the market, for the past 10 years, kita banyak experience that produk kita tak ready. Produk kita tak boleh masuk market sebab ada banyak benda yang kita tak buat, yang kita tak siap. Yang kita sendiri pun tak tahu, yang kita sendiri pun tak sedar. Okay, luckily this time around we have TRL. So TRL is widely used these days. TRL is a scale of looking at kita dah ready ke belum. And funders, industries these days, bila dia nak produk daripada research ataupun innovation, they will ask for TRL. So every level of TRL ada dia punya syarat-syarat dia. So you have to run through what is the syarat. Kalau you fulfill, then only you can claim you are qualified or you are fit for certain TRL. And these are the TRL things. And I believe this is my last slide. dekat UTM kita academician we have options. Uh, tak semestinya bila kita cakap pasal commercialization kita kena fikir kita kena keluar buka syarikat. Tak semestinya kita kena buka company become businessman, dan tak semestinya kita kita boleh I would say menjadi sangat kaya bila kita ada produk yang boleh masuk market. Alright, dalam in UTM policy sendiri, I think at least ada 4 perkara ni, which is licensing, spin-off, outright sale, or even startup. I think so ada banyak cara untuk push your product to the market. I have tried the spin-off. I change my strategy. I go for licensing. If you go for spin-off, basically of course you have to be very much ready, and you have to be put your full time there, be in the business, be in the market, involve your daily thing with businesses and processes of putting product to the market. In UTM we are quite, I think, lucky. Kita ada cuti pengkompresilan. Kalau saya tak silap, I think they give you like 2 years, 2+1, if I'm not mistaken. So you can basically macam cuti sabbatical, you boleh I would say drop all the load that you have currently, and you have to focus. Kita pernah try sebelum ni, kita buka spin-off, kita masih lagi terlibat dengan teaching, whatever, research, supervision and all that, dan termasuk sama kita run companies. That kind of scheme is not very much successful based on kita punya history and experience. Pihak industri juga kalau dia nampak kita masih lagi pensyarah, masih lagi ada kelas, dia tak nak work with us mostly, and that's why I think UTM take a bold step. Saya rasa mungkin industri lain mungkin tak buat. Kita bagi staff cuti full gaji untuk run the company, untuk run the business, focus full time. But there is a KPI lah behind that. Alright. So doing that, we have to leave kita punya academic punya world, and some of us maybe thinking kita akan lost kita punya career pathway dekat UTM. Alright, and then for me personally, saya lebih suka apa nama ni, licensing, in which I just from kita punya expertise of theory, we solve apa nama ni, problem. Bila kita siap at any level, then we can basically pass around kepada pihak yang memang everyday duduk dalam business tu, they understand the business, they run the business, they know the ups and downs, the tips and tricks, all that. So I prefer to leave all this thing to them, while I go back to the lab. I can work on my next invention, on my next research, in which if I get the understanding right, I might be able to put next product to the market soon, contohnya. So we have to really ask ourselves lah, kita prefer yang mana in this case. Alright, I think that's very much conclude saya punya sharing code from little experience yang saya pernah lalu lah when it come to commercialization, spin-off kind of thing. Okay, come back to you. Siapa tadi ya?
Right, yeah. Yes, I hear.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Dr. Kamarulafizam, our speaker of today. So, I think it's the crucial, important point before we actually ready to commercialize our product is actually we have to do the target market analysis. Actually, what the market need, and also we have to join the training that can be eye-opening to the researcher. And so before we conclude, so I would like to open to our audience from the WebEx platform, and also we welcome our viewer from the Facebook Live to ask any question regarding the topic today, research and development conversation, to our honored speaker, Dr. Kamarulafizam. So please, if you have any question, just ask us. So our speaker can answer for you.
Tak ada soalan kot.
Okay, ni ada daripada chat box Webex. Dr. Kamarul, boleh tak nak minta later share recorded video? Jadi
Okay.
untuk video ni boleh view di Facebook live kita, Faculty of Engineering punya Facebook, jadi boleh refer, boleh tengok video di sana.
Alright. Okay kot, tak ada soalan ni, semua orang dah lebih kurang understand lah kot.
Betul, dia sebab rasa apa, crystal clear dia apa Dr. Kamarulafizam punya sharing. So kita akan tengok daripada Facebook komen mungkin.
Alright.
Assalamualaikum.
Salam dulu.
Dr. Kamarul, nak minta sedikit
Ya.
advice untuk maksudnya ataupun lecturer yang baru nak start commercialization ni kan. Agak-agaknya what is the best, apa tu, the first step lah yang perlu kita tahu untuk kita nak venture. Macam tadi doktor cakap, okay, macam saya lebih suka licensing contohnya. So ada orang suka produk dan sebagainya. So macam mana kita nak tahu tu, nak pilih tu?
Okay.
Boleh advice ke?
Alright. Pada according to my experience, saya kadang-kadang ada saying lah, hanya jauh hari yang mengenal manikam contohnya kan. Apa benda ayat dia. So in order for you or for us to basically kenal kaedah ke, cara ke, atau barang macam mana yang berharga atau tidak, we have to get our eyes open basically. The first process yang saya lalu adalah training, awareness, dan training dengan SRI tu antara perkara yang paling impactful yang saya pernah dapat, and mostly of apa yang saya ada hari ni adalah based on that training semata-mata basically. So to know apa yang kita ada, nak bawa cara macam mana, actually you need that kind of eye opening punya, I would say macam brainwash lah, something like that. So memang tak ada satu fix cara ataupun kaedah sepatutnya kita bawa dengan cara macam ni. Jangan bawa macam ni for any product, because different product ataupun different services, kaedah ataupun caranya berbeza, dan cara nak kenal hanyalah dengan to get ourselves well trained to kenal whether kita punya produk ni boleh masuk market dengan cara macam ni ke tidak, ataupun boleh masuk market dengan mungkin bentuk yang macam ni ke, bukan macam ni ke, feature yang macam ni ke, feature yang macam ni ke. It takes a skill yang di-develop daripada that kind of training. Saya sangat-sangat emphasize kepada training ni, bukan bakat terpendam ke, bakat dari lahir ke, bukan. You really need training to get yourself, orang kata macam itulah, you nak kenal benda bagus, you kena well trained to recognize that. So again, as academician, we cannot run away from research. Basically, it's part of our 7Ps, it's part of our bread and butter. We have to do research. Sometimes kita punya research take long time, lambat untuk kita keluar produk. It takes that skill basically from that training to kenal that kita punya research ni, walaupun let's say kita punya research timeline is 7 years ataupun 10 years, that skill and ability to recognize the potential daripada your research yang boleh dikomersialkan tu akan help you to basically tell, ini macam dah dah ada certain value yang you boleh komersialkan walaupun research you belum siap contohnya. Dan satu research boleh mungkin keluar 10-20 products, 10-20 services contohnya. Mungkin at certain level of research dah cukup untuk you solve certain problem in the market. So you can take that part, you can basically repackage dalam bentuk hardware ke, software ke, policies ke, whatever. So that benda tu memang ada demand over the time. So if you think that your research ni nak kena tunggu siap baru ready untuk dikomersialkan, which tak tahu bila dan tak tahu dapat ke tak dapat, entah bila you siap nanti orang lain dah sangat maju ke depan. So you don't have place in the market contohnya. If this is your case, you boleh start the innovation yang macam saya sebut tadi tu. Simple thing dulu ke, try to experience the process of commercialization, work dengan industries, work dengan authorities ataupun work dengan you punya target market one to one contohnya. So that is my general comment lah based on Dr. Humaizi punya soalan tadi. Okay ke Doktor?
Okay, terima kasih.
Thank you for the question.
Okay, Doctor, another question from Dr. Muhammad Fairuz. Thank you for the great sharing. I've been in the business prior to joining UTM. I faced an issue to fast track the research to commercialization. My question is, what is the chance on getting the sabbatical leave to focus on business? Does it require a spin-off company to start with? From
Alright.
Dr. Fairuz.
Thank you very much, Dr. Muhammad Fairuz. Actually, sabbatical leave, commercialization ni, I think is very much written in the policy. I think I also can help to get the policy for you lah. Dan sabbatical leave, pensyarah yang ambil sabbatical leave memang kena ada spin-off company dan memang kena ada IP yang dibawa bersama-sama dengan that spin-off yang dilaisenskan kepada that spin-off. Kalau you tak ada IP, basically memang you stop there lah. You have to IP something and you have to license something to companies, especially your spin-off company, and from there baru you ada some kind of qualification to apply for this sabbatical leave. Dan saya rasa ada syarat-syarat lain lagi yang saya mungkin tak berapa maklum lah. So the basic is that you need IP, you need to form the spin-off company. Of course, IP dan forming spin-off company ada dia punya syarat-syarat dan dia punya condition. I think it's not that difficult to do this. And then bila you apply for sabbatical leave ni, ada dia punya proses and syarat-syarat yang nak kena lalu lah. Alright. Tapi especially bila you punya product memang very potential, very yang kata high demand and all that, I think UTM takkan sekat lah unless memang sebab ada proses of evaluation. Kalau the process says that you punya product memang tak boleh masuk market, walau seconfident mana you sekalipun, if the committee says no, then the answer is no lah. Basically, yang paling penting sekali is to develop the product right, with good orientation to the market, to the target market, and timely lah pada saya. Dan all the process lepas tu akan dibantu oleh UTM. Alright, Dr. Fairuz. The chance is always there, okay, provided yang tadi tu, if you come up with good things, yang mana market sangat-sangat nak, and you make and you boleh convince UTM that benda ni akan bring in big benefit to the university akan bantu. University akan, I don't see university halang lah, in a way, university akan bantu. And of course you need spin-off lah. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Kamarulafizam. So, then no other questions. So I would like to conclude our sharing session today. I'd like to thank our honored speaker, once again, Dr. Kamarulafizam. This is a really great sharing session, really inspiring. And we do hope this sharing session will motivate more researchers to become a successful entrepreneur. Thank you for your sharing your time and experience with us. On behalf of Faculty of Engineering, we also would like to appreciate our participant on your attention and commitment. Thank you for joining us via Facebook and also our WebEx platform. We hope this program will benefit all researchers, especially in research product and development conversation. So don't forget to fill up a Google form through the link given in the chat box for Webex and comment in the Facebook Live to register your attendance. On behalf of Program Secretariat, sorry if there are any technical issue or any inconvenient matter. So till we meet again, Assalamualaikum and have a good day and stay safe everyone.
Waalaikumsalam. Terima kasih Sekretariat, terima kasih semua peserta yang hadir. Terima kasih for your time.
Terima kasih doktor, terima kasih semua.
Sama.
Thank you, Doctor.